On April 20th, 1999, I was part of the Jefferson County Regional SWAT team that responded here to the high school. Being in this building takes me back to that day. I was asked a little bit ago about, does it seem like 20 years? And there's times it seems like forever ago, and then there's moments where it's right now. It's half of a heartbeat ago. It's something that stays with you. When I think about that day, there's not one good memory. And I'm very uneasy in here. When I'm in here, when I'm in these four walls, all I'm left with is the failures. When I'm outside of this building, I can see all the good that came from it.
This van you're looking at is the Denver SWAT team van. This is over on the east side of the school.
I honestly think that we thought it wasn't going to happen. We hadn't been worldly and paying attention, and school shootings had happened before this, but we thought these are just an anomaly, and it's not going to happen here. This is a great community. We were very skilled at what we trained and what we could do, but we just weren't forward thinking enough to think it's going to happen here. You want to talk about being unprepared. I mean, we had a plan. We were prepared. It was just the wrong plan. We were prepared for the old barricade, right? We thought this was a SWAT dilemma. And so the protocol back then was what we called the 4 C's. Contain, control, contact, call SWAT. That's still the protocol today for a barricade. If you've got a guy in a house, he's got a gun, he's fired a couple rounds, no one's in the house with him, it's the same protocol. And so that's the plan that we had. Like I said, it was the wrong plan. We were not forward thinking enough to say, wait a minute, by the time SWAT gets there, it's way too late. And it took this, it took Columbine for us to change our mind, to change the way that we viewed the world, for us to understand that we did not, one, I don't think we understood the dilemma, and absolutely we didn't have the right tactics in place. We sat there and looking at this failure. This was a failure. This was a failure in forward thinking, in planning, in preparing. In my professional world, it was probably the most profound moment that I've been through, right? It changed the way that you looked at your own profession. It changed the way that you looked at the media. It changed the way you looked at the legal system. It changed the way that you looked at community. It changed, that day changed everything. After Columbine, right here kind of became the epicenter, is where the active shooter program started to roll out. And what that was training the patrolmen, giving them the skills, the equipment to be able to go into the building and address the threat. And I'll tell you, that was met initially by resistance. When we first started teaching that, your patrolman that has been doing this job for a while, your patrol officer, I guess I should say, that have been doing this job for a while, they're like, that's not our job, that's SWAT's job. It is crazy now. You talk to a young police officer right now that gets out of the academy, they know that's their job. They know they're going to go to work, they're going to go inside, right? And maybe even by themselves. But back then, this was a whole way of changing. I mean, the whole thought process changed. But the bottom line is, for the layman, the faster the cops are there and in the building addressing the threat, the suspect can't continue to kill.